Hi, everybody. Gosh, February. What a month. What a month. We have just come back from the most amazing holiday. Um, and the house is in a bit of a disarray because I've got some bit of building work going on outside. I've got people coming and measuring for carpets, and it's just all a bit crazy today. And to cap it all, I've got two two dogs that are in season, so that's all really lovely. And yeah, so it's all a bit chaotic. I had the most fantastic holiday, I have to say. It's a holiday that I booked a year ago, and not something that I would normally do at all. And we did a three countries Aurora tour to Sweden, Finland, and Norway, and we had the most incredible time. I have to say, I need another month off now to recover. It was unbelievably fantastic. We stayed in the ice hotel, which was wonderful. I'll admit I did cry in the night when we were staying in the cold room. Oh my goodness. And it wasn't the cold. The cold I can cope with. I sleep in a cold room anyway, not quite as cold. It was about -5, so not quite as cold as that. It was the sleeping bag. The sleeping bag was like a sausage skin. Like really tight. Didn't help that I'm a little bit sort of sausage like anyway, but my daughter was fine, but she's really thin. And I'm in this sleeping bag, and I could not turn around. And I have like achy back and achy joints and everything like that. Oh my goodness. And what you have to do is you have to put the sleeping bag on, and then you have this tiny little area where you kind of pull the drawstring, and you have to sort of breathe out of this tiny area because of course you get condensation. And every time I turned over or attempted to turn over, my head would kind of miss this sort of little hole. So I'd be like facing the inside of the, oh my goodness, it was so uncomfortable. It was so uncomfortable. Luckily we had a warm bathroom attached to the cold room, so it was like an airlock door, two doors. And this bathroom was the size of my kitchen, had a sauna and a shower and a seating area. It was amazing. So I went and sat in there in a little deck chair, and that was fine. There was a little kettle in there, and oh, it was so nice. It was so nice. But the sleeping bag was awful. The food was amazing. The food was absolutely amazing. We did ice sculpting. I should have got a picture of mine. So I started off thinking I'm gonna sculpt a dog, and and then it became very obvious that it wasn't going to be a dog. So then I was like, right, I'm going to sculpt a pencil. So it kind of ended up being sort of like this and down. And then I kind of chipped something off. And then it ended up an hour and a half in, literally just a dome. It was so funny. Oh God, it was the most rubbish one. The most rubbish one. So my sculpting skills are really poor, particularly with ice. But anyway, but it was a really great experience. We're there with like big mittens and stuff like that on. So that was really good. We went in the ice bar and drank cocktails out of ice glasses, and it was the most brilliant experience. It was really, really good. And of course, I've got my three lovely children with me as well. And it was fantastic. It was so good. And from there we went on to Finland, and we stayed for 3 days at the Northern Lights village in, I can't remember where it was now, Levi. I kept on calling it Levi, but it's not, it's Levi. And oh gosh, it was absolutely fantastic. I would definitely go back there again. Even for sort of like a short break. It was just fantastic. We snowmobiled. They've got kennels there, husky kennels. We husky sledged. We got to meet the huskies, reindeers. Oh my goodness! So we met the most wonderful lady, and I can't remember her name. It was like I can't remember her name. It began with Y, and she was one of the Sami people, sort of native to Finland. And I hadn't realised, but they're the only people who can own and herd reindeer. And she was absolutely, she was just amazing. So smiley and happy. I loved her reindeer. And we had a reindeer sleigh ride. And and then we went and had a cup of hot juice, and we kind of listened to, everything that she was saying about reindeer. And I got some great photos of reindeer, and I've got a fabulous photo of her, which I'd like to draw. And it was just brilliant. It was so good. And it was all snowy and snowing for 3 days. And it was magical. It was so good. The snowmobiles were amazing. So I went on the back of my son for the first leg. And then coming back, I drove, and they took the limiters off so at the first you could only go up to 40 kilometers an hour. Then they took the limiters off, and basically the sky's the limit. Off you went. My youngest son, who's 19, he just shot off. I think he made about 79 kilometers an hour. You're in, snow. And I'm I think I made about 55 kilometers. I was really scared because the fronts of the snowmobile, they're skis. So they just follow the tracks. So you don't really have much control. Anyway, and they're massive, and I got my daughter on the back. Anyway, so that was really fun. We had a really great time there. And the husky sledging was really fabulous as well. And we did a Northern Lights hunt in Lapland, in Finland, but we didn't see any because it was snowing, it was foggy and everything. So we slept in the most fantastic accommodation. So these little pods with a glass bit over where you slept, and you got your own sauna, and it was just brilliant. And then there was a 6-hour drive, and I was like, oh my goodness, 6 hours. Ugh. I can't think of anything worse. And actually I slept for half of it, and then was awake for the second half. And the second half, going from Finland into Norway, the scenery is absolutely spectacular. It's unbelievable. I mean, it's just unbelievable. And when you see paintings of mountains with sun on them and all of that kind of stuff, that's what it was like. It was just brilliant. So we stayed at this fabulous hotel in Tromsø, which was called The Edge. And we sort of like had a day there, which was really nice. Had a potter round, and then we did a Northern Lights hunt on our last night there, so we all crammed into this minibus and drove like about an hour and a half away, and it was really hot in the minibus, and we got out. Sadly, it was a full moon, so there was a lot of light. A lot of light pollution, but we did get to see the Northern Lights, very faint with our naked eye, but through a camera lens, we got to see some amazing lights. They were fantastic, sort of greens and purples, which was just brilliant. And it was just sitting around a campfire in the snow, really cold, drinking hot chocolate, and eating this. It was absolutely vile, I have to say. It was dried food, that they'd kind of taken all of the water out of, and then you just put water in it, and it was just like, yeah. Anyway, I had a mouthful, and I was like, no, thank you. Didn't want to be sick on the way home. But seeing the lights with my children, it was so good. And then we flew from Tromsø to Oslo. Oslo Airport is absolutely gorgeous. We came out and was like, is this an airport? It was so lovely. Everything was seamless. Everything. I went with a travel company called the Artisan Travel Company. So they did everything, all of the transfers, everything. And it was just completely seamless. All of the transfer, the taxis turned up either early or bang on time. All of the flights were either early or on time. It was just amazing. And then, of course, we got back to London on Sunday, and all of the trains weren't working. I don't know why I was shocked. Well, I wasn't shocked, really. So none of the trains were working, and our flights were delayed. So anyway, hey ho. I think we had a little bit of wind. Although in Sweden we'd got like, I don't know how many feet of snow, and we still managed to, land. But anyway, Yeah, we had a fantastic time. I've got some lovely photos that I will be drawing. Husky, this gorgeous lady, the reindeer lady, she's absolutely beautiful. She's got this big hat on and this gorgeous jumper, and I can't wait to draw her. And of course, I've got a lovely little reindeer that I'm going to draw as well. His name was Pumper. And apparently he could only like to go at the front. You could only put him in the front, and he could only be on the yeah, he was only on the front. You couldn't put him anywhere else. Otherwise, he'd get really angry. This little white reindeer, he was so cute. So we just had the most amazing time. And I can't think what else I did in February. I've created a new tutorial. We created Hugo, the yellow Labrador puppy, which turned out really nicely on like a dark grey pastel mat. And I'm seeing some beautiful renditions of that. We've done more of the Kingfisher. So the Kingfisher, I think there's only a couple of sessions left to go now with the Kingfisher. It's not actually taken as long as I thought it would take. So that's really coming on. And again, some brilliant renditions of that coming through. Honestly, it's fantastic how people just really love their colour pencils, and they just get completely absorbed in it all. It's fabulous. And I've done a couple of commissions this month as well. I've got a new tutorial coming up, which it's going to be a very short one. It's really cute, but it's going to be quite short. I'm going to try and get it done this week and next, because I've got a really busy few weeks coming up. I've got my workshop on Sunday, which is the fundamentals of drawing horses. So really digging into, horses are quite a complicated subject to draw. I have heard some people say that they are the most complicated subject. I think because of all of the ups and downs, the structure of the face, the hair direction, all of that kind of stuff. Yeah, so we've got that on Sunday. And we're then off to Edinburgh next week. We've got the Great British Art Party in Edinburgh. So we head off on Thursday. The art party's on Friday, and then I head home on the Saturday. And then Sunday, I head back to Norway. Oh gosh, no rest for the wicked. So that's going to be exciting. I'm also heading to Amsterdam in June. We're going to see Esther Hicks again, and I'm joining up with a couple of my mastermind peers, and we've taken on an Airbnb for 6 days. I think it is 6 nights, so we can do our live mastermind session there as well. So that's really exciting. I'm really looking forward to that. And then I'm about to buy my tickets to Austin, Texas for September. And again, that's for the mastermind, meeting up with my peers and everything. I am really wanting to do a workshop overseas, but I can't find any information as to how I can legally do that if I organise it myself. I think if somebody invited me and they collected everything and then I was paid a fee, that works. But for me to actually organise something in the States, I don't know whether I need a special visa or something, and I can't find any information about that. So I need to keep digging, because it would be really, really nice if I'm coming over there anyway. It would be really nice to run a workshop. So those are sort of my plans. We've got some really exciting things coming up in June as well, which we will start to talk about. But basically, I think first week in June, block out the whole week. That's all I'll say. Just block the whole week out, which is, so that's going to be quite an exciting week. It's something that I'm planning. I've never done before, and actually I'm really, really excited about it. So that's coming. And then, so I've got this tutorial that I'm about to start. I'm hoping to finish it this week, next week, uploaded for all my members. And this one it's going to be a very small one, short one, fun one, but I'm not going to name any of the colours. It's an interesting discussion. I always name my colours. And there's something to be said about naming colours in tutorials. However, it can also put an awful lot of overwhelm on people who don't have the same colours as me. And then there's that stress of, oh, I haven't got that colour, what can I put in its place? And I always thought that choosing colours, picking colours and naming them was a really good way of teaching people. And I still do. And that's how I base all my tutorials. And I'm not going to stop doing that. However, I know other artists don't name their pencils and they just give a brief description of what the pencil is. And I'm wondering if that will stop the overwhelm for having to have exactly the same information as me. We all know that art materials are expensive. So, if I can just say, look, here's a warm brown I'm going to use, or here's like a purpley colour, or here's a bright yellow, you can then choose your own colours just from that description. And we all know that colour doesn't equal realism. We all know that. I know sometimes we get really, kind of fixated on colour and having to have exactly the right colour, and it just really doesn't matter. We all know that realism comes from values, and that's something that I'm going to be talking I'm always talking about anyway, but I'm going to be talking a little bit more. I've been doing some writing about that today. So I've got that tutorial coming out. It's a really cute one as well. I picked it the other day and I was like, oh, I'd seen it a couple of years ago. I'd seen the picture and then it popped up again. I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to do this. This is going to be really super. And then I've got some more human portraits coming for the membership as well, which I'm excited about. I do really like drawing humans. Oh gosh, sorry. Somebody was at the door. So I just had to go and answer the door. So it's an exciting time, I think, for tutorials as well. And plus I'm doing them a little bit differently now. We have the time lapse with the voiceover, plus the whole thing, the step-by-step, and then sort of splitting them out as well. We are doing a bit of an overhaul of our video hub as well to make it much more seamless for my members to be able to log in and find where they want to go and where they need to go. And it's all going to be personalised as well. So that's coming. Yes, it's all very, 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 very exciting. I've got my new trellis going up in the garden, which is a very long time coming. Very excitingly, I've got I do things on a whim. I've got an infrared sauna arriving tomorrow. I really love a sauna. And it's an outdoor one, so that's going to sit on my patio. I won't take pictures, but I'll take pictures of the actual thing, but not with me in it. So that's really exciting. I've been wanting one for ages, and it's just a little tiny one, but that's just going to sit. So I'm going to be able to go and have a sauna every day. It's going to be so nice. I'm going to be glowing. But the infrared sauna, apparently they're supposed to be really, really good for joints and, all of that kind of stuff. So, that's about it from me. I can't think of anything overly interesting about what I'm doing at the moment. I can't think. I had a coaching session this morning and I've got so many ideas for so many things, and it's just finding the time to actually do them, create what it is that's in my head. I have got some really exciting projects coming up. One of them that I think is going to really, really help an awful lot of people. Which I've been thinking about for an awfully long time, but I haven't actually, in my head, it's all done, it's all finished, and it's, I've just got to actually record it and create it and make it into sort of like whatever it's supposed to be. That's about it from me. Short and sweet, well, probably not very short or very sweet. Actually, before I go, I've just got something to show you. Hang on a sec. So I'm back again. Okay, so nothing to do with art at all, or coloured pencils or anything. But I saw this on a Facebook, I think it was a Facebook ad or a Facebook something, I don't know. And I thought, that sounds like really nice book. And I bought it, and it is absolutely lovely. So if you love like it's non-fiction, but it's a story. I don't know whether this is the right way around or not. But it's called Ponies at the Edge of the World by Catherine Munro. And basically it's about Shetland ponies and Shetland. And it's absolutely beautiful. It's just the most lovely, lovely, lovely book. It's storytelling. It's all about Shetland, about the ponies, about the people, about the community. It's just absolutely lovely. And in the first few pages, just her memories of horses and her growing up. I was sat on the plane crying. And it wasn't even sad. But if you want a really lovely book, just a really nice book, it's published by Penguin, and it's just absolutely lovely. So that's my book of the month. My book of the month from Bonny, Ponies at the Edge of the World. It's really, really, really super book. Anyway, logging off now, and I'll see you soon.